Is it just me, or does it seem like the Republican Party is trying to lose on purpose yet again? And I know that sounds absolutely crazy to even suggest, like, wait, what? What? Why would Republicans try to lose on purpose? And I should be clear about this. I am not talking about every single Republican. In fact, compared to just 5 years ago, you can really even argue a year ago, the Republican Party has gotten much better on most fronts. Look at the Tennessee state legislature. They rammed through a new map, giving Republicans an extra seat. Florida, same thing. So it's not every single Republican playing games and trying to lose on purpose, or best case scenario, not trying to win. But at the same time, there are still plenty of elected officials on the right that not only don't want to win, but are now admitting they want to lose on purpose. Yeah. Now, for those that live under a rock and don't know what's going on, there are multiple states in the South right now about to redraw their congressional maps. States like Louisiana, Alabama, and South Carolina. There is an off chance for Mississippi, but it's a weird case where they already had the primary. But even then, there still is a chance in Mississippi. But fine, whatever. Mississippi has a valid excuse, though they're trying to redraw as we speak. We shall see. Outside of that, though, these other states have absolutely zero excuses, zero valid, legitimate excuses for why they can't redraw. Seriously, why can't South Carolina redraw? Why? Or Alabama or Louisiana? Now, to be fair to Alabama and Louisiana, they are technically redrawing. So we can't be 100% mad at these two states, but still, it's the bare minimum. This is what Kay Ivey said, the governor of Alabama. I have called a special primary election for the 1st, 2nd, 6th, and 7th congressional districts. Alabama knows our state, our people, and our districts best. SCOTUS decision is plain common sense and enables our values to be best represented in Congress. And the map they're pushing through, it is an improvement. That is true. We do get a net gain out of Alabama. But you guys may notice an issue here. This is the proposal. This is essentially the old map. I think it's the same map as it was back in 2023 or whatever. You may notice a problem here. Democrats still get a congressional district in Alabama. And not just a competitive one. It is still like D+20 or whatever it is. Seriously? We're still giving Democrats a free seat here. Is it better than it was? Yes. I'm not denying that. It just goes back to what it was before 2023. But guys, Louisiana v. Calais got rid of Section 2, essentially. It's still in effect technically. But guys, you can get rid of this district without anybody being able to do anything about it. And it's very easy. We're not talking about a Trump plus 2 state. We're talking about Trump plus 25 or Trump plus 30. It's very easy to draw a 7-0 map that are all plus Trump plus 20 seats or higher. Is it better? Yes. But this is bullshit. That this is what Alabama Republicans are pushing. I'm not saying that this is bad. Like, hey, I'll take the free House seat. I'm not against that. And I get the idea of, well, maybe they want to just test the waters. That they're going to let Tennessee test the waters. And if they are successful, then yeah, they give her the seat. Sure, if that's a strategy, I'm not against it. But do you really think that's what's going on here? No. I really believe it's because Alabama Republicans, they don't want to get rid of that 7th district. It is insane. In fact, if you got rid of the 7th district, you not only give Republicans a better map, you actually make the map look cleaner. So I don't get the reasoning for why they have to keep it. And if they really want to, just make it more competitive. This whole strategy is just nonsense. But whatever. In Alabama, you are getting another House seat. Fine, whatever. It's stupid we're not getting 2. I guess there is a chance there is momentum building to redraw both of these seats. But whatever. Right now, we for sure get one out of Alabama. The same thing is going on in Louisiana. Yeah, another state where Democrats gained a BS second district in 2023. And Louisiana Republicans, they're not going for 6-0. Instead, there are 4 maps they're pushing through. One of these 4 maps, more than likely, will be the new congressional map. And again, in 3 out of 4 of them, they do give Republicans an extra seat. That's true. But guys, the same issue remains. There is a free Democrat seat in New Orleans. Why? Why are we not going 6-0? What's the reasoning here? Seriously, why? And one of these maps is still 4-2. Look at this. So one of the main proposals would still be 4-2, except the 5th district is much more competitive. Really? Does no one see the problem with this? The Supreme Court just gave you essentially unlimited power and the ability to draw whatever map you want to draw. You can draw 6-0, and I highly doubt anybody could stop it. Same with or Alabama, excuse me. What can they do about it? It's very clear from the Supreme Court that nobody can really do anything about this. Yet they're doing the bare minimum. Is it an improvement? Yes. So you can't be too mad. It's better than the Indiana GOP, which we'll get to that in a second. At least they are redrawing and giving us an additional seat in Alabama and Louisiana. That's net gain of 2 right there. And I understand they want to be careful. They want to make sure, okay, the Tennessee map works. We're good to go. I get that, but still, that's a disappointment in Louisiana. But quite possibly the most pathetic thing happening right now is not in Louisiana or Alabama, because at least they're going to redraw and they're getting us a couple extra seats, and they potentially may go 6-0 and 7-0. That's still a possibility. Just right now, they don't really want to, but there still is momentum building for it to happen. But whatever. You're getting a couple in these states. Here's a problem. The state of South Carolina. There is a disaster brewing in the state. You cannot make up what's going on here. Just look at this tweet right here. This is a real statement from the South Carolina Senate Majority Leader, one of the most powerful people in South Carolina politics. He said, South Carolina is stronger when we have a vibrant Democrat Party. South Carolina Senate Majority Leader in speech opposing redistricting. Yeah. So the top person, one of the top people in South Carolina politics is saying, we can't redraw. I'm opposed to it because we need a strong Democrat Party. Excuse me. What? Are you on something? You cannot make this up. Their whole reasoning isn't, oh, it might blow up in our face. It might make the map more competitive, which in South Carolina's case, it does technically. No, we have to protect the Democrat Party. We need a vibrant Democrat Party. Really? It is absolutely pathetic what's brewing in South Carolina. And by the way, right now, the same dumbass is attacking Trump for abusing his powers and overreaching into South Carolina. The same arguments that Indiana Republicans made a few months ago. Remember that? And it's not just one person. There are multiple members in the South Carolina legislature. They're going to vote this down. So that means the redistricting effort will be defeated because a couple Republicans said, no, we can't do this because we need a strong Democrat Party. And by the way, Trump is a dictator and he's a mean person. What? At least Alabama and Louisiana, they're just going back to pre-2023, kind of. So they have an excuse there, and they're still waiting at Tennessee if they can really go 6-0. That's one thing. But the excuses in South Carolina are we need a strong Democrat Party. What the hell are you talking about? This is real, by the way. He's actually saying this on the Senate floor. That's his reasoning. And he was able to convince enough people to push back against it. It still could pass, but right now, it's looking like it's dead. What are we doing here? May I remind everybody what happened in Indiana? They tried the same stunt where they said, we got to protect democracy. We got to protect the Democrat Party. By the way, Trump is a mean person. That's why we can't support this. He's a dictator, blah, blah, blah. May I remind people what happened there? Look at this. Of the 7 districts Trump targeted, and there were a few others that Turning Point also targeted, Trump won 5 of these races. 5 incumbents are currently down. Only one won re-election, and there is one race still to be determined. It's like within a couple of votes. So Trump in one election was able to essentially get rid of the vast majority of these people in the state Senate that struck down the redistricting effort in Indiana. And a couple others retired. There's a few more up for re-election in like 28. They're all gonna be gone by then. So, yeah, it's apparent that South Carolina Republicans did not watch what happened in Indiana. Indiana Republicans did the same thing. It failed miserably. They got crushed outside of 2 races, with one race still to be determined. It is just wild because I don't think people understand how significant states like Alabama and Louisiana redrawing could actually be, and South Carolina. Look at the current House map. And I should be clear about this, not an official prediction or whatever, but let's just say that Republicans, they redraw both in Louisiana, both in Alabama, and one in South Carolina. Look at that. Republicans right now would roughly be at 214 in the House. Democrats, 196. Yeah. And of course, there are a couple other seats that could go Republican. Like there are 25 toss-ups that could theoretically go either way. So Republicans would only need 4 in this scenario to go their way to retain the House majority. Democrats have to run the table just to even get a tiny majority. You see the issue here for Dems and why states like South Carolina and Alabama playing these games helps nobody? Because let's say South Carolina, they don't redraw, and Alabama and Louisiana, they only go for 1 each. Well, Republicans would still be at 211, but Democrats now are 199. Republicans still have a easier pathway technically, but you could be a couple seats away from the majority if states like South Carolina got off their ass and actually redrew. I just cannot believe that we're still dealing with the same nonsense that we've been dealing with for years now. There are no valid excuses for South Carolina not to redraw, and the reasons they gave sucked. We have to protect Democrats. We have to fight for democracy. Really? Since when do Democrats care about Republican voices? Look at Virginia. If it wasn't for the Virginia Supreme Court, Republican voices in Virginia would have been just gone. They would have had no real representation whatsoever. Yet we got dumbasses in South Carolina saying, no, we can't do this because of principles, Trump bad, whatever. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.